All right, we have something to open today. You can see already I've opened a few Elite Trainer boxes, so if you missed that opening, do check out that video. I'll put the link in the description. But we do have two booster boxes to open today, and I will just state for the record, it should have been three. There was a bit of a mix-up with the packaging. The person at the store I bought them from, JB Sports Cards, I've bought from them before. They're really good usually. I contacted them, said, "Hey, you shorted me a box." They're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll send it out as soon as we can." So hopefully we'll have the third box here shortly to open, maybe within the week. But for now, we are going to open the two that did come so that we can see what I got. But I do have two booster boxes here to crack open, so let's do that. Alrighty. So I just want to say for the record, um, I have really enjoyed opening Scarlet and Violet. It's nice to have a set that doesn't punish you for opening packs the way a lot of the previous sets have, especially prior to Brilliant Stars. Uh, those packs were terrible. Scarlet and Violet just feels a lot better to open in general. I'm much happier with it than I've been in a long time opening packs. Like it makes it feel fun to open packs, if that makes sense. With that said, let's get started. So we have Metatite, an Energy Search, a Grimer. You'll have to forgive me. I'm trying to get my lighting situation sorted out here. Bruxish, Staraptor, Electricity Generator. That's my second one, I think. Trio, very important card for very Trolley deck. Reverse Hollow Meowscarada and a regular Meowscarada. How interesting. Alrighty. Two Meowscarada. Alright, so I'm gonna have an extra Meowscarada to play with. Ready for a little versus kids battle. Alrighty. We have Cacnea. Cacnea. Not a great card, but hey, it's a Cacnea. Sandile. Mareep. I just want to say it again for the record, I really love the silver borders. They just look a lot nicer than those yellow ones. Medicham. Charcadet. Energy Search, Reverse, and Miraidon. Hollow Rare. Not the Miraidon everybody's hoping for, and if you see in the picture right now, actually, the Miraidon X that I'm really wanting to pull, the special illustration print of that card. Very pretty card. I did already manage to pull the Miriam that I was hoping to pull, so we just have to pull the Gardevoir and the Miraidon, and we'll be done with the chase cards for this set. It'll be great. Cacnea. Alright, we'll tweak some lighting. The lighting was not good enough. Alright, Sandile, Mareep, Silicobra. Let me see something back there. Judge, good. Those are in short supply right now. Floatzel, Miriam, Flabebe, a illustration aware version of Cloth, and a Toxicroak X. Very nice. Let's put those in sleeves real quick. So, Cloth, not especially playable, but it is a pretty card. Very shiny. Has an attack Vice Grip for 50 damage for 2 fighting, and Adrenaline Hammer. It does 130 damage, and this Pokemon is confused, and that's for 3 fighting energy. So not a Pokemon you're going to be using that often because, frankly, it's pretty bad. But it's pretty. So that's what matters. Alrighty. Be sharp. Riolu. He's trying to hide Go-Goats. Scatterbug. Quaxwell. Experience Share. Toadscruel. Capsicid for the reverse. Smoliv for the second reverse. And a full art Gardevoir X for the regular pull. That is pretty. Ooh, we're losing sleeves. That is very pretty. Highlight that real quick. That is not, unfortunately, the one I'm chasing, but it is very nice all the same. So these codes for Silver Tempest will be going to be used for Justin Basil Online League if you're part of the Discord server. We have a weekly Friday night, kind of almost like a league at home, if you will, where you can battle other members of the Discord server on the Limitless Online Tournament platform. So there is great little incentive to just kind of jump into a standard format game most weeks or an alternate format game other weeks and just have some fun with it. So Silver Tempest is the reward and participation code starting this next week. So starting on the 14th when Scarlet and Violet base set becomes legal for tournament play. So these codes will be used for paying out the participation and prizing for those. Now, it's not a huge payout, but it's a free tournament, so it's what we get. It's just a little fun thing. Usually only 3 rounds, lasts about an hour and a half. It's pretty fun. Join us if you haven't already. And if you have already, do continue to join us. Drifloon, this card gets even better with Paldea Evolves. If you watch the... It is not wanting to focus. If you watched our review of the Paldea Evolved cards this last Friday, you'll note that Charm of Courage was one of the cards involved there. So Drifloon's Balloon Blast does 30 damage for each damage counter you have on Drifloon, and Charm of Courage gives you an extra 50 HP to work with, so you're up to 120, which means you can attach 5 energy with Gardevoir to Drifloon, putting 100 damage or 10 damage counters on it, meaning Balloon Blast suddenly does 300 damage, which is pretty crazy. Got a Vitality Band. I'm getting 2 lax with the holding of these cards. Toxtricity, Rotom, Quaquaval, King Gambit, and a basic Lightning Energy. King Gambit. A regular Holo Rare for the leadership ability boosts the damage of basic Pokemon by 30. The illustration rare version of King Gambit is definitely up there with the cards I want to pull also, although it is not in my top 3. Okay. We have a Shuppet, a Spriggy, a Houndour, another Drifloon. We have an abundance of Drifloon. Team Stargrant, a Zangoose, a Youngster. It's basically Shauna, if you're familiar with the Shauna. Curlia, Toxtricity, and Daddy Research himself, Professor Turo. I'm very glad to pull Professor Turo. Professor Turo is my favorite of the 2 professors for this generation. Happy to pull Turo. It's pretty nifty. So far, we have pulled just these 3 hits here. Again, this stack is from the Elite Trainer boxes we opened last week. As you're watching this, it'd be almost 2 weeks ago now. But anyway, so we have Citadel, the room on 80 HP room. It's my second one in all these packs. Holy crap! I finally have 2 of them for the deck. All right, Mousehold, Crocodile, Florges. Florges is only uncommon. It is. That's crazy. Miraidon, Pokegear Reverse, and a Houndstone holographic rare. I love the hollow edges on these Pokemon. Like, it makes the hollows actually feel like they're a little bit more of a pull. Alright. So, Tuttle. I was just complaining about not getting rooms. It's like, okay, here, fine, have another one. Magnemite, Flaffy, Blissey, Tatsugiri, Potion. Oh. Illustration Rare Jacques and a Revavroom. That is pretty, I will admit. I'm not mistaken. I have one of those already, do I not? No, it's Arvin that I have. So I have the Arvin and the Miriam. And now I have the Jacques too. The one I'm missing at the moment is Penny, and I'll have all 4 of them, which is pretty awesome. So there's Jacques illustration rare. And yes, it looks just that washed out in real life too. I'm not sure. Whoop, that's not where you go. I'm not sure why that card looks so washed out, but it does look really light. Rev of Room, not a bad card either. The Rumbling Engine ability, pretty good in Darkrai, which is a deck I've really been enjoying lately. Not especially competitive as a deck, but all the same, super fun to play. When it wins, it wins. Tarantula, Pokemon Catcher, Clomsure, Dolive, Mug, Vivian, Doxpun, Penny. I need to do this special illustration rare, thank you. Grievard. And then we have a holo version of Quackball. Everybody's favorite dancing duck. All right, Tarantula. Pokemon Catcher. I was just point out too, I used to not even bother putting the code cards like this on the stream, just because they used to like spoil whether or not you got a hit or not. Now the code color just doesn't matter at all. So that is a nice change for this set and for the Scarlet Violet block in general. Tropia is one of my favorite Pokemon. Gets a little card here, a reverse holo Arven, and another holo foil version of Cloth. This one is the regular holo to pair it up with the illustration rare below here. So we have, again, the Vice Grip and Adrenaline Hammer attacks. Or that Cloth, and kind of, actually, let's just put them side by side up here. So one is the pretty one is the regular one. All right, so next. So far, 4 hits. 2 hits that feel like hits, and 2 hits that are still hits, but don't feel like hits. All right, we got Quexley, Poniard, Crushing Hammer, Starly, Tatsugiri, Scovillain, Torkoal, Palmot Reverse Holo, a Spiritomb, that is a reverse, it almost didn't look like it at first, and a card that doesn't really come apart. A Miraidon X. So this, if I'm not mistaken, is the third, and for me, final Miraidon that I need for building my deck. Miraidon is proving itself to be kind of a flaky contender in the competitive space, despite good testing. It does still struggle, unfortunately, but I can't imagine it's going to stay that way, and it is still pretty good against most of the meta. It just has some bad matchups, so I'm very excited to see Miraidon. Actually, we'll put you in this stack because you're a regular Pokemon X. Biggest thing with Miraidon is it's very squishy. So maybe once Charm of Courage comes out, we'll actually have a bit more of a reason to start smacking things around with the Steel Electric Dragon. All right, Crushing Hammer. Everybody's favorite disruption card from the Darkness Ablaze format. Penny, Stunjourner, Metacham, Energy Switch, Oinkologne, everybody's favorite pig, and the holo version of Palmot from Scarlet and Violet base set. So if you got the pre-release kits, Palmot was one of the promo cards, so you were able to get a non-holo version of Palmot in the pre-release kits. The Electrogenesis ability. We are almost halfway through this box. So far we have 5 hits. Jacques, Cloth, Miraidon, Toxicroak, and Gardevoir. Not too shabby thus far. We have Flittle, Shroomish, Mankey, Charcadet, Breloom, Kilowattrel, one of my favorite Pokemon from this generation. Although it's pre-Evo is even better. Greedent, Drifblim, Growlithe, and a holo rare version of Cyclizar with the Touring attack to draw 2 cards. Another thing to note too, if you've seen this card in Japanese deck lists, this has free retreat. So if you have a deck where you need to kind of get a little pivot, it's not a bad starter because you can use the attack to draw some cards, and it does have free retreat. So that is something to be aware of. I also like that I don't have to do a pack trick. No pack trick is great too. Just pull off the card and the code and go. Done. Magnemite. Quaxwell. Another Seclazar. This one's not the holo version. Toedscruel. Spupa. A reverse holo Beach Court, and a Klefki holo rare. A lot of discussion about Klefki. The community seems fairly split on it. I think leaning more toward it not being as good as people thought originally, including us, to be honest. I think it's still good, but it's not as big of a one-card answer to decks as we were originally thinking it would be. People have figured out how to kind of work around the lock. So not exciting to hear that, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Metas evolve. Cards that were supposed to do things don't do the things they were supposed to do. Just ask Mew VMAX how many different cards were supposed to kill it, and we will have our answer. Weasel, Crocodile. Crocodile's over here. Flamigo, I see a card that I think is what I think it is. I'm very excited if it is. No, it's not. Okay. It is still a good card, but it's not what I was hoping it was. I thought for a second it was the King Gambit, but it is not. All right, so we got the Hawlucha, which is a very good card, and Pachirisu. Pachirisu is just a pretty art. Not a super great card, but it has seen some play in Miraidon lists, especially in the build that uses Regieleki VMAX, because you can boost its Everybody Discharge attack to do extra damage. So if you're playing this in your deck, this is probably the art you want to play if you have it. It's just a pretty art. And then Hawlucha sees play, especially in Lost Box variants, to kind of help fix the math, if you will, for Sableye in particular, but just in general. So puts damage counter on each of two of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So yeah, very good flying entry ability on that Hawlucha. Definitely going to see quite a bit of play. People are talking about how it's not as good as Zigzagoon, or it's like, oh, well, Scoop Up Net made Zigzagoon really, really good. It's like, not actually. It didn't. It made it better, but Zigzagoon saw play before Scoop Up Net, so don't dismiss Hawlucha just because Scoop Up Net isn't on the format. It's still going to see good play. Mouse Hold, Vitality Band, Toxtricity, Vivian, Skiddo, and a holo rare version of Skeledirge with Passionate Singing. Touch up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. That does 50 damage. And then it has Blazing Shot that does 190 damage. This Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself. That's a 3 energy attack cost. This is a Stage 2, which is a little unfortunate. Stage 2s are in much better state than they were prior to Scarlet and Violet and prior to rotation. But I don't think that Stage 2 does quite enough to warrant those attack costs and kind of lack of damage, to be honest. It's not quite good enough. All right. Energy Retrieval, Lechonk, everybody's favorite pig, Slowpoke, Wattrel, Rocky Helmet, Mabostiff, Angry Doggy, Oinkologne, Silicobra. There's a reverse, a Crushing Hammer reverse, and something is sticking. It's Gyarados. This card gets a lot better in Paldea Evolved because of Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur, of course, has an ability that if has been translated by fan translations as Absolute Zero. And it says, basically, if you have water energy in your hand, throw it down. Put it wherever you want it. You got this. So, pretty nice little pull there. All right, so that's the first half of the box done. Let's jump into the second half. Just a quick recap. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pulls so far for the first half of the box. All right. All right, we have Squavit, Charcadet, Lechonk, Tarantula, Torkoal. Torkoal is a really fun little budget deck there. Shout out to Vulcan Turtle TCG, Pommy, Sandile, and we have another Hawlucha. Nice. Wattrel, one of my favorite Pokemon, if not my favorite Pokemon from this generation. Not my favorite art for that card, but yeah, definitely one of my favorite Pokemon from this generation. Mesagosa, another card that's being divisive in the community. I really, really like the card though, so just keep that in mind. Youngster. And another Houndstone, holographic rare. Houndstone, I am not the fondest of this card, to be frank. It has its uses, and maybe it can be decent as its center of a budget deck. It has the attack Last Respect, does 80 base damage, and then does 10 more damage for each psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. So if you're throwing a ton of psychic Pokemon in your discard pile, maybe it's okay, but the attack cost is a little rough, unless you're playing Guardy, which kind of makes it not a budget deck in the first place. So, And Guardy, I think at least, has quite a bit better of attackers to pick from than the Houndstone. So, Squawkabilly has the Call for Family, which is good for slower formats like playing against beginner players. If you're trying to build something similar to one of the league or the Battle Academy decks, that's a decent option to pick. And we have our Dancing Duck. Our next set's Paldea Evolved will have the Pokemon X of the starters. So we'll have Quaquaval X, Meowscarada X, and Skeledirge X all ready to play. I think Quaquaval is probably the worst of the three, unfortunately. Not a bad deck necessarily, but I think they're just better picked. And then the Meowscarada and Skeledirge both are decent on their own. I think Skeledirge is very much hurt by the introduction of Chen Pao. So Chen Pao does some pretty explosive damage for not a whole lot of energy, and that makes Skeledirge significantly worse. Basically an auto loss for Skeledirge. And Nespal, finally, in all these packs. I open another Nespal. Pachirisu, Magikarp, Reverse Hollow Mousehold, and something that is stuck. It is very stuck. What is it? There we go. Oh, nice. A Gardevoir X. Pretty Guardy. This is one of the talks of the town. Everybody loves their Guardy. And the deck is also splitting people. I think a lot of people are just disgusted that Pokemon is a stage 2 and are frustrated that they aren't used to the big basic consistency that basics have. Or even that the V-Stars have, for that matter. Guardy, though, is pretty stupid powerful as Pokemon. So when the deck works, it works really, really well. And when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work at all. That's just kind of how stage 2s work sometimes, unfortunately. In my experience, though, the deck's pretty good, and especially works pretty well with Mewtwo V Union. So if that's something that interests you, I would say proxy it out real quick, see how you feel about it, see if you like the deck, and then if you do like the deck, pick up the singles to play the game. I think picking up singles is the best option still, even with the good pull rates of Scarlet and Violet base set. If you are trying to play the game and really want to focus on playing the game, buy singles. Do what I say, do not do what I do. I buy packs open on videos and streams because I enjoy opening packs, and I know for a fact I'm going to lose money every time I do. But I enjoy opening them, and especially with Scarlet Violet, it is very fun. However, if you are focused on playing and you want to save money, opening packs is not a way to do that. Opening packs is never going to be the cost-effective way of doing things. And you cannot invest in Pokemon cards, especially modern cards, the way some channels on YouTube will try to say that you can. It's just not going to happen. There's way too much of the stuff printed. It's all copium. If channels are telling you that, oh, Scarlet and Violet is a bad set to pick up, it's because they don't care about the actual game. They care about the money. They don't care about the cards. They care about the money. All right, we have the Full Art Arven. This is a beautiful card. Also extremely playable. I believe I rated it as number 7 in my top 10 cards from Scarlet and Violet. I actually think on further inspection, if you will, further testing after having made that video, I actually would probably rank Arven a little bit lower. That is to say, as a better card than 7th place. The card is stupid good in ways that you wouldn't really expect. All it does is search for an item card and a tool card, but it turns out that's really powerful. It's amazing. It's cards like Arven and Irida that at a glance maybe don't necessarily look like they're the best cards to be using. And then there's a base. What? Alrighty then. Okay. I'm not going to complain about that. That is a basic fighting energy. That is a gold version of this card. That is pretty crazy. I actually really like the way the gold energies look in Scarlet and Violet base. I think they look better than the ones from Sword and Shield and better for the ones from Sun and Moon. They just look different. I especially like the lightning energy, the secret light or lightning energy from this set. It just looks really good in gold, which I don't normally like golds, although I also don't normally like reverses, and I kind of like the reverses in Scarlet Violet. So, well played, Pokemon. Well played. So not bad pulls from this box. Not bad at all. The Dene, Pineco, Flittle, Wakoko, and their Beach Court. Beach Court is super, super playable card. Sandaconda. My Sandaconda don't want none. Right, Tarantula, and a illustration rare Slowpoke, coupled with Palma. Palma coming along for the ride. All right, Slowpoke. Card that can be searched off of Era, therefore it's already worth looking at, but it's also just really nice art. Kind of just chilling in the streets there. All right, I keep mixing these two. Their cards are kind of close in color, and if you're not paying careful attention, you can end up mixing them. All right, the Dene back for some fun. Pineco, Flittle, another Fuecoco, and a Spathra to go with that Flittle. Very nice. A regular Arven, super good to see. Cacturn, Pomo, Crocodile, another Hollow Cyclizar. All right, so we have about half of one side of the box left. Let's see what we get for the rest of this. All right, so we have the code Drowsy, Nemona. Interesting, they only put the Scarlet version of Nemona in this pack. I do wonder if they're going to save her for later, either by putting her in Paldea Evolved or if they're going to throw her in something else. The trio, no, the Chonk, and Professor Sada from Scarlet and Violet base set. So she is the other professor from Scarlet and Violet. Fun little fact, she has exactly the same background art as Professor Turo. Haven't noticed that? It's pretty fun. All right, Drowsy, Nemona, the Chonk, the Baby, Mesagosa, Heracross, Defiance Band, Bisharp, Reverse Holo Pachirisu, and a holographic, there it is, I did it again, holographic Koraidon. I actually don't think I've pulled any Koraidons from this box. That's interesting. No Koraidons at all from either of these. Very, very interesting. Growlithe, Staravia, Ralts, Tandemaus, Judge, good to see Judge, Floatzel. Interesting little thing though, Judge will not be very playable come next set. Because I don't know, it's a thing. Reverse Holo Wugtrio, and there is something here because it's kind of clinging together. Come on. Pull apart. Come on. There we go. A Magnezone X. Magnezone with Energy Crush and Pulse Launcher. Do not underestimate Magnezone. He is here to crush you. He sees your high energy counts and says, haha. Magnezone. You are hit. You come down here, sir. So we have, let's see here, we have 6 packs left from this box. That is a little under a quarter. And then we'll have one more box to go. have yet to hit any of the chase cards for this box. Hopefully we'll hit one of them, but kind of don't think so. Not in this box. Kind of hit. We hit the gold. We hit the illustration rare already, so don't think our likelihood is especially good about hitting it, but we can try all the same. All right, Skeletor's Hollow Rare. This Skelly is happy to see us. Pokegear 3.0. Glad to see that got reprinted. Definitely good to see a little bit of extra consistency for decks that need it. Smoliv, very cute. Lucario, Rock Chest Plate, Titan, Cacturn, Riolu, and Annihilate. Regular hollow on the rare there. A little bit miscut too. It's a cut a little high on the stamping. I don't know if you can see this in the video here, but like it's like really narrow on the top. Kind of cool actually. Actually, looking at that Skeletor, it's also really kind of high up. Interestingly enough. Another Pokegear 3.0. Floet, Palmy, a Picnic Basket, Bombardier, Hypno, Cloutzer, Drifloon, a Revavroom, and a basic water energy. Fun little fact, you might have noticed this when I was talking about the set review of our Paldea Evolved this last Friday. But as of Scarlet Violet base set, basic energy, when it's referenced on a card, is now capitalized. Prior, it wasn't. It was a lowercase b, and now it's a capital B. That is a weird but interesting change in Scarlet Violet base set. I do wonder, I mean, obviously it's now a keyword. I do wonder why it wasn't in prior. But yeah. Okay. Twisting Strike Wiglet, Grievard. Come on. Mischief, Pupa, Laffy, Youngster, Boise, Tarantula, Drowsy, and our hollow is Slowbro. And if you were following me last week rather, or I guess it's now 2 weeks ago. Feels like forever ago already. This is now the fourth Slowbro, so we should have a full playset of Slowbro. Gotta check. Now, for the record, I don't think you need a playset of Slowbro. It's just not necessary. However, should you feel so inclined, you could marvel at the fact that this art is really awesome, and it is by Shinji Kanda, which is one of my favorite artists in the trading card game. Full playset. That's pretty nifty. Twisting Strike Wiglet strikes again. Grievard, Mischief, Pupa, Beats Court, Sandaconda, Katie, Alola, the other Detonate. Ooh, Armor, nice. Okay. Getting excited about this just because it's not been very often I get to pull it. And I'm still running it in one of the decks that I can no longer improve. Damn it. I'm running it in Arcanine. It's not a very good deck, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to actually have it not proxied out and get to just kind of have some fun with it on the side. All right. Arcanine is definitely better with Armor than without. Metatite, Energy Search, Grimer, Bruxish, Jock, Florigato. Jock, unfortunately, is Bulk. Zangoose, a Reverse Hollow Kilowattrel, a Magnemite, and very nice to see this also, a Holofoil Dondozo for the Dondozo Tatsugiri lovers out there. Deck's not too bad as a budget deck, so definitely worth playing. All right, so let's recap that box real quick. So we pulled, this is box one, a secret rare gold fighting energy, full art Arvin, illustration, secret illustration rare Jacques, or special, is it special? I can't even remember anymore. Slowpoke, Pachirisu, Cloth, Magnezone, Gardevoir, Miraidon, Toxicroak, and Gyarados and Gardevoir. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits, 9 if you don't count the illustration rare. I think that's a pretty good haul from that one. Let's get ready to jump into this second box. All right. Good stuff. Let's see if this box can even beat that first one. Maybe even beat the ETBs. Still got to pull that Miraidon and the... Let's see, the Miraidon and the Gardevoir, the illustration, special illustration. Chest plate, reverse hollow Judd, Foot Coco, and a hollow Professor's Research. Nice. Always good to pull some Professor's Research. I especially like the hollows. The researches, the newer ones, because of the hollow borders. Hollow borders is really good for those. Capsica. This pack feels thick for some reason. Alola, Toxel, Maschiff, Mambustiff in the same pack. Nice. Marinum, Spiritomb, reverse hollow of Research, a Zangoose, and a Revavroom. So Revavroom, not a bad little pull there. Good to have a few of those around. I'm also actually curious how many I've pulled. Ooh, hi. How many I've pulled so far? 5. Out of the ETBs and the box, I've pulled 6 of them so far, which is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of them. 6 Revavrooms, and that's 4. Again, that's 4 ETBs, a booster box, plus a pack or 2. So not too shabby. Okay. Pokemon Catcher, Clowncher, Dolive, Quaxley, Sandaconda, Katie, Staraptor, Skiddo. Oh, that's actually quite funny. All right, that's okay. So I'm laughing because this is actually my second gold Miraidon. I pulled a gold Miraidon at pre-release also. So that's out of my bonus packs for participating. That's actually pretty awesome. That is not, unfortunately, the illustration version of that card, which is the one I'm chasing. But yeah, that's a good pull all the same. So, go Miraidon, go. Spupa, Metatite, Energy Search, Grimer, Ultra Ball, Spathra, Arvin. See something pretty. Energy Switch, Toadschool, and no, it's Oinkologne, so Lechonk's Evo. Have I pulled any of those already? I don't think I've pulled very many, if any of those. That's good to see a Lechonk Evo in the form of Oinkologne X. It's just Lechonk big. Big Lechonk, that's what it is. Yeah. So Oinkologne X. Not a bad little card to play around with. And Toadschool. Pretty card. Poniard. Crushing Hammer. Starly. Flittle. Electric Generator. Wug Trio. Judge. Tarantula. Why did I put Arvin here? Tarantula, Reverse Hollow Mesagoza, and a holographic King Gambit. Alright. Riolu, Scatterbug, Dolliv, Pineco, Turn, another Mesagosa, this time a regular one, a Drifblim, Spupa, Seviper, Houndstone, Hollow Rare. Right. So 3 hits so far for this box. If you don't count the regular illustration rares, then that would be a 2 hits so far. Shroomish, Mankey, Charcadet, Capsicid, Floatzel, Miriam, Lucario, Magikarp, Dedenne, Full Art Miriam. Very, very nice. Now I have both the Full Art and the regular Miriam. Let's see, the Full Art and the special illustration rare. That is very nice. So Miriam, super good card for basically one set until we get Super Rod back and Paldea evolved, but very pretty card all the same. All right. Mischief, Poniard, the Dig a Little Wiglet, Charcadet, Defiance Band, Tatsugiri, Nestball, Silicobra, Scatterbug, and a holographic Koraidon that I've just thrown on the floor. There you guys. Koraidon. Potion. This is like a rare now, even though it's a common. Weasel, Energy Retrieval, also common now. It's very nice they've got some commons for the trainer cards so that you actually can still get them in the packs. Now they've reduced the counts of the lower rarity cards. Scovillain and Miraidon, holo rare. This is a very interesting card for 3-4-5 format, but I don't think it's good still. The bench snipe is good, but only 90 to the active. It's kind of rough. Alright, Capsicid, Potion. Hey, look. I complain about potions, and now we get potions. Weasel, Energy Retrieval, another Energy Retrieval. Pachirisu, Pecanic Basket, Bombardier, Krogunk, Reverse Floet, and a Floatzel. Floatzel 8. Halucha. Where did I get Floatzel from? I haven't the slightest idea. This is not a Floatzel. Just saying. Boom. Slowpoke, Wattrel, Zangoose, Krogunk, Youngster, Flaffy, Blissey, Mastiff, Bruxis Reverse, and Arboliva. Chunk, Slowpoke, Wattrel, Zangoose, Hypno, Beach Court, Sandaconda, Gradient, Primate, and Iron Treads X. Iron Tread has triple laser. So triple laser for 3 colorless energy, so fairly stiff attack cost there. This attack does 30 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. And then it has Cybernetic Wheels that does 160 damage for 3 metal and a colorless, which is extremely crazy. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. So, there we go. All right. Dedenne, Switch. Kirlia, like the one Kirlia you don't want to play. Fuecoco, Tatsugiri, Jacques, Loragato, Fido, Citadel, and that Hollow Cyclozar with the free retreat. There we go. Almost halfway through this box. My Cyclozar does not want to cooperate. He's like, no, I'm a free retreater. I get to go where I want and where I want. And when I want. Alright, Krogunk, Dedenne, Kirlia, a Switch trying to hide behind that Kirlia, Katie, Staraptor, Electric Generator, Switch, Houndoom, and Holofoil Quaquaval. The Dancing Duck. Tropius, Pokeball, Rotom. Gee, I did it again. Rotom. Wait, what? How did I do that? Guys, just saying. I'm not an idiot, but sometimes I try to prove otherwise. Let's try this again. Palpak, Experience Share, Stunjourner, Penny, Vitality Band, Riolu, and a Foil Palmont. Almost did it again, damn. 3 more packs in this half of the box. We got Fuecoco and another Tropius. We just got a Tropius, now we get another Tropius. We are in an abundance of Tropius. A Rotom, a Wugtrio, a Judge, a Floatzel, a Mankey, a Chansey, and a Slowbro. That means we now have 5 Slowbro. We have more than a playset, gentlemen and ladies, and anything else. We have a Slowbro. For all you human beings out there. And for all the human beings, too. Alrighty. Squawkabilly. Capsicid. Alola Ola. Bamo. Fluffy. Youngster. Blissey. Flamigo. Arbaliva. And a Klefki. Hollow Rare. All right, final pack for the first half of this box. Towards the right side of the box, for those of you who keep track of that kind of thing. La Bebe. Toxel. Ralts. Growlithe. And be buddies with the Arbaliva there. Medicham. Quackdwell. Cyclozar. Tandemaus. A beautiful illustration rare of Fido. And a Hollow Annihilate. There's the Fido. Pretty and springy, as its attack would have you know. And then Annihilate, I think this might actually be the first Annihilate I've pulled from these boxes. Rage Fist, this deck does 70 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, so that ramps up very quickly. And then Dynamite Punch, this attack also does 50 damage to itself, does 170 damage, so not actually that bad, though it is a stage 2, so you need to make sure you have the means of getting up to it and being consistent with it, or you will not succeed. Tandemaus, Smoliv, Primeape, Toedscruel, Mousehold, Vitality Band, Energy Retrieval, Cyclozar, and Armarouge. Very nice. Fire off. I liked fire alarm better, but oh well. All right. Growlithe, best doggo. Shuppet, Tandemaus, Smoliv, Satitan, Laffy, Youngster, Potion, reverse hollow potion at that, Ralts, and a holofoil Meowscarada. I do feel like Scarlet and Violet makes me go through Perfect Fits a lot faster. When every pack has something to sleeve. Definitely feels like it. All right. Tommy, Roundchilla, Riolu, Magneton, Toxtricity, Crocolore, Muck, Metatite, Houndstone, and does not one compart there. And a Gardevoir. Yay, Gardevoir. So I believe is my 4th Gardevoir. I want to say. I'm not certain. I think it's my 4th that I've pulled so far. Not including the full arts and my completely absent special illustration rare Gardevoir. But you know, maybe I'll pull that still. Or the Miraidon. I would be very happy with that Miraidon. Both those cards flashed up on the screen just now, so if you are curious as to what those look like, those are the pictures. They are very pretty cards. I definitely want them for the collection, just to have them because they are so cool looking. Holofoil Cloth is the holo in that pack. Cloth, unfortunately not an especially playable holo. More just like, hey, I'm here. Clowitzer, Brevard, Mastiff, Poniard, Lorges, Greedent, Vivian, Espathra, the illustration rare for Iron Treads, and a Skeletor's Hollow. So Iron Treads illustration rare, very pretty card. Again, not especially playable at the moment, but a very pretty card all the same. Definitely will have. I'll definitely take great joy in having this in the collection. I do not yet have the hollow or the special illustration rare version of Iron Treads, so I am happy to see that. Poor Skeletor just sitting off the side here like, dude, don't I get a sleeve? I'm just going to chill here. And that's why I put it on a stack of codes. Right off the bat, we're starting good with a common. It's a common? It is a common. Magneton's awesome. Awesome. All right. Grevard. Mastiff. Zangoose. Stunjourner. Penny. A reverse version of Flitzel and Wiglet. A full art Toxicroak. So there's the full art here. As the attack Nasty Plot. So you project 4 up to 2 cards and put them in your hand and shuffle your deck. And then Toxic Ripper does 120 damage. And your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon checkup, put 6 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. You can boost that damage with Hisuian Sneasler, the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. So you can be doing 8 damage counters in Pokemon checkup. Just be aware that if they retreat out of it or switch out of it, that damage is going to stop ticking, and you're only going to get basically the 160 to, or well, let's say 180 to 200 damage depending on whether or not you have the Hisuian Sneasler. But either way, pretty fun to see that. Torkoal, great art as always. Scovillain, reverse hollow Megaton, a reverse hollow Starly, and a Koraidon holographic rare. Ponyard, the Diggle Wiglet, Toadschool, Dandile, Medicham, Quaxwell, Experience Share, Little, Cloth, and a Hollow Professor's Research. Very nice to see some more of a man, Mr. Turo. Alright. We have 10 packs left. Alright, let's go. Fido, Scatterbug, Drifloon. We're loading up on those balloon girls. Sprigatito, Oinkologne, Breloom, Kilowattrel, Varoom, another 80 HP Varoom, Rare Candy, and an Arboliva. Hollow Rare. Alrighty. I gotta say, this box is actually not too shabby. Not too shabby. Houndoom, Fido, Scatterbug, another Drifloon. Again, we're kind of just collecting them. Toadschool, Cyclizar, Vitality Band, a Heidi Skeletors, a Wattrel, and then a, wow, I think this is actually my first one too. The Arcanine X, the Terra Pokemon with Raging Claws that does 30 plus damage. This deck does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, and then Bright Flame does 250 damage, and you have to discard 2 fire energies from Arcanine. So all of the Terra Pokemon, per the rulebook, actually have the Terra effect. The Terra effect, of course, is specifically that you don't take damage while on the bench. A little bit of built-in bench barrier for Terra Pokemon. Whittle. It's a Viper. Houndour. It's a Tuttle. Heracross. Crocodile. Flamigo. He's your amigo friend. Staravia, Dolive, and Revavroom. We have another one. We're gonna have several playsets of Revavroom by the time we're done with these. Hopefully, once we get my third box, I'll open that box probably on a live stream just after we do one of our testing, because we are starting to test Paldea Evolved. So this should go live on Wednesday. So we're gonna start testing Paldea Evolved on Friday. So just a couple days from this video going live. So do keep that in mind. Let's start testing some of that set. Should be very, very fun. We are excited to have some fun with the new decks from the set. There should be a very interesting one in Chen Pao, another very interesting one in Meowscarada, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how those decks do against each other. And then when we get to the best performers, we will see how they do against the rest of the world, or, you know, the meta, as it happens to be. So we have an illustration rare Riolu and something else behind it that I cannot get to come off. Come on. Like cling together like something else. There we go. Koraidon. I think that might be my first Koraidon. Certainly my first Koraidon recently. I didn't get one in pre. I don't think I got one in pre-release, so I'm pretty sure it's my first one overall. So Koraidon has the Dino Cry ability. So search your discard pile for 2 fighting energy and attach them to the 2 basic fighting energy. Attach them to one of your basic fighting Pokemon in play, and then if you use the ability, your turn ends. That is not a great hit, but it does belong down here. And then Riolu has just really cool art. And 70 HP, so not too bad if you're trying to run the Brilliant Stars Lucario deck. Not a bad one to evolve from, so you can kind of show off your love for Riolu. Alrighty. Magikarp, Magnemite, Energy Switch, Varoom, the 60 HP Varoom, Fortress, Rocky Helmet, Mebostiff, Shroomish, Mareep, and our holo is Dondozo. I think that means I finally have a full playset of Dondozo. So that is exciting to know. I know last week I was swapping them out as I had the chance. So hopefully I can finally unproxy all the decks I have proxied for Scarlet and Violet, and then swiftly dismantle all of them as we start to test how they evolved. All right, Citadel, Magikarp, Magnemite, Energy Switch, it's not Gardevoir, Florges. This is getting a little on the full side. Let's see. I'm going to put you in this pile so that I can start doing trainers here. All right, Muck, Vivian, Mabostiff, Pokeball, and a holo Miraidon. Not Coridon. Miraidon. Ready? You were. Oh, jeez. I am so bad about doing that. Or if it's just the reverses are tripping me out. I don't know. Look. Mix up. We have Clauncher and Skiddo and Quaxley and Squovit and Miriam and Spiritomb, Search Ball, Smoliv, a reverse holo Revivroom, and a Slowbro. How you feeling today, dude? I'm feeling a little slow, bro. Need to be like all the cat Pokemon and just sleep. That's what I need to do. I need to sleep. A 60 HP room, Clauncher, Skiddo, Quexley, Doxman, Tatsugiri, Scovillain, Floragato, reverse holo, a reverse holo Picnic Basket, and a holo Indeedee. Another miscut, unfortunately. One goes a little high again. It's like whoever set this one to cut kind of put it a little too high, unfortunately. All right, we have 2 packs left. Let's see if we can get anything out of these 2. This pack actually looks like it's been kind of run over by the roller, so it's unfortunate. Hopefully the cards inside are in good shape still. They appear fine. Good. Flittle, Shroomish, Hi-Iro, Mankey, Charcadet, Spiritomb, Ultra Ball, Espathra, Lebebe, Energy Search. Come on. And a Miraidon. That gives me a full playset of the regular Miraidons. And since we have been very patient, we're going to go ahead and give a code. So if you get lucky with that code, let me know how it goes. Final pack. Let's see if we get some last pack magic. Alrighty. We have a Charcadet, a Lechonk, a Starly, a Tarantula, an Arven, a Cacturn, a Houndour, a Zangoose, and, unfortunately, if you will, a regular holo Meowscarada. So Meowscarada, not exactly a big pull in this set, but it's nice to have, right? The starter Pokemon are always good to see, and Meowscarada is no exception. Meowscarada is my favorite of the evolutions from the Scarlet and Violet base set, so hopefully at some point we'll make that a good card. Kind of don't think so, to be honest, but all the same, it is nice to have the boxes opened, to have some good pulls. Let's go ahead and review the pulls from this particular box. So we have Miriam, Riolu, Fido, Toedscool, Miraidon, Coridon, Gardevoir, Iron Treads, Oinkologne, Arcanine, Toxicroak, Iron Treads, and Miraidon Gold. Let's give a quick count on that real quick. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hits if you're counting the regular illustration rares, 10 if you're not. Either way, I'd say that's a pretty good box. Got some decent pulls on there with the Miraidon and the Gardevoir. Can't complain. There's some good stuff. There's some great art in this set. I think Scarlet and Violet is definitely one of the best sets in recent memory. A lot of great art to collect. And you know what? I'm glad the prices are dropping for these cards because it means it's a lot easier for people to collect their play sets and their sets in general. If they're collecting, they can finally get master sets without so much difficulty. And the investors can go screw themselves because they're not investors, they're scum. I have a very strong opinion of people that call themselves investors for this game because it turns out a lot of them are not lovers of the game whatsoever. What they love is money, and maybe that's too high and mighty of me, but I am very tired of them basically spending all their time flipping product and cards to the detriment of those who are trying to play and trying to collect. So, like actually trying to play and trying to collect and not just flip product. So anyway, with that happy note, I do hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. But I do hope you liked it. There's some good pulls in here. Good information for if you're going to be opening up some Scarlet and Violet base set product. Do keep an eye on the channel for upcoming videos for Paldea Evolved. Again, starting 2 days from now on Friday evening, we should be streaming Paldea Evolved's first testing video. If I am not mistaken, Baxcalibur should... Actually, no, Baxcalibur is not part of it. I'm not sure which Pokemon are testing the first day, actually. I need to look into that because I need to build those decks. Another thing I have built right now is Chinpao, and I'm not actually sure Chinpao is up first. So I need to build, and test this weekend before we start testing on stream. As I said, again, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.